Well, good morning, everybody. So, I figure I should probably make one last video to sort of recap the road trip that I have been on for, like almost 4 months now. Basically, the road trip ended, I'd say, a couple weeks ago because I decided to hang out in a place called Dublin, California. Dublin. Met somebody and settled down for a couple weeks, and basically just kind of got back into routine life again. Stayed at a hotel, and did the everyday sort of things that you do: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Worked on preparing for going back to Hawaii. Made schedules and stuff, and kind of getting myself back into the feeling of being in a routine again. And I had a couple of friends during that time that I would spend time with, and it all felt very normal. But now I am off from Dublin, California, heading up towards Oregon now, to get ready to go pick up my kiddos in 3 days. So looking forward to that. And then get ready to fly back to Hawaii. My God, what a trip it has been. Woo! Traveling from Oregon to Washington, Nevada, Idaho, Utah, California, and then kind of doing it all again with the kids and by myself, going down to San Diego, spending a lot of time in the Bay Area also. I've witnessed a lot of interesting things on this trip based on the current political climate and the current COVID climate. Things that don't match up with what I hear or see on the media, or what I hear or see people saying, or the behaviors of people. And it's really interesting to see city by city the differences of how COVID has affected things, and then back when the election was happening, how the election was affecting things. It's really quite fascinating. I mean, essentially, the core thing that I found is that even though we're in the midst of a global pandemic still, it is still possible to travel, and it's still possible to connect with new people safely, and it's still possible to live a full life and not to have to live in fear. These are the things that I really took away from this trip. Of course it's risky. There's risk involved, right? I've been traveling all over the place, and I don't put myself in close quarters with lots of people, so I guess the risk is mitigated and nominal based on how a person decides to travel. If I was going to indoor raves, it might not be so good. But I've chosen to connect more one-on-one with people, or very small groups of 2, 3, 4 people, and knowing and asking questions to make sure everything is cool. But it hasn't stopped, life from being lived. And so I think that's probably the biggest, the thing I'm most grateful for this 2020, saying goodbye to 2020. Oh, by the way, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. We are now in 2021, and I think what I see is that for 2021, it's going to be a lot about, maybe further extremes, actually. So you'll have people that are willing to adapt and modify and make it work, but then you're gonna have other people that are gonna keep going down the road of fear and separation and projecting and the other outside. So I think there's gonna be a lot more extremes actually in 2021. I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe it'll all be a Garden of Eden and everybody will be happy, but I don't think so. I think that as the world continues this, I don't think COVID's going away. time. It's going to be here. Even with the vaccine, I think it's going to be here for a long time, especially if it's going to mutate and stuff. So the key is to figure out how to take care of yourself and get right with yourself and live as full of life as you can, no matter what. Not letting anything, the fear of death, the fear of sickness, the fear of other people. I mean, no. I mean, of course we have to do things carefully and respectfully, but not in a way where we have to believe that life has to be less than. So, anyway, I don't mean to harp on that for too long, but that's just one of the biggest lessons I've taken from this whole trip. And I've made tons of connections with people. Like, oh my goodness, it's been incredible to meet so many new people and to feel the energy of so many new people and realize, wow, if you open yourself up, actually, as opposed to close yourself down, you see there's so many things that, I mean, I'd met people that kinds of people that I've never met before, that, energy-wise, that reflected to me parts of myself that I was like, oh my goodness, wow, okay. And I also had to deal with a lot of challenges as well. I did get sick. I didn't get COVID, but I got sick on the trip. And what else? Van broke down. Had some other family stuff. A couple issues with people, but it's a matter of like, what do we want in our life? Again, back to what do we want? What do we want to create in our life? What are we going to create for ourselves? So I find that we keep people closest to us that mirror how we want to see ourselves. So am I going to hold people close that make, like when I'm with them, I feel like shit because that's how I feel? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's possible. Anything's possible. We can surround ourselves with people who talk shit all the time and are negative all the time, and then we feed into that, and then we just get into this, and not to bag too much on the conspiracy theorists, but I mean that's a big food right there. You can chew on that shit all day long and dwindle down in a rabbit hole of despair, isolating yourself from everyone. And no, I think it's all a choice. We can choose to connect, or we can choose to disconnect. We can use the things in our world to connect, or we can use the things to disconnect and see things as other or not like us. And that's not how I'm rolling. I'm meeting so many new people and finding out, what combinations, what archetypes, what characteristics, come out with this person, and then how does that make me feel? And then choosing, like it's okay to say no to this and no to that and no to that, but yes to these. And then that, that seems to be like anchors, I'd say, because when you talk to somebody, after you're done talking with them, do you feel good? Do you feel, elated? Do you feel bright? Do you feel happy? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel relaxed? Or do you feel nervous? Do you feel tense? Do you feel sour? Do you feel drained? So I think a lot of it's about being open to potential, and then following through on that potential. So lessons during this trip. I'm driving now, as you can tell, so I should probably say adios. It's been a wonderful trip, and I do look forward to going back to Hawaii and living Hawaii life for a while, figuring out what's going to be in the future, because I don't know. That's the other thing about this time is there's a lot of uncertainty. But I'm cool with uncertainty. I like going into the future as a mystery, not planning, not knowing, and having faith. Faith is a very acknowledged thing in this world now. Faith. Now, because of the way things are, people might be losing some faith. But you know what? I am choosing to do the opposite. Fuck it. Have complete faith. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be fine. And if it's not, I'll know what to do to shift or to change. It's a lot about being able to shift and to modify, to go from this or settle into this for a little while. But then when it's done, let it go and then move on to the other thing. So it's a lot of adaptability. And I like that. I'm okay with that. I'm actually, that feels more natural to me than trying to create this continuous stability, this constant, must do this all the time. That doesn't work for me. So I'm fine with adapting, and I really enjoy it. And I think that's what's needed during this time is, you can't say, this is what I'm going to do, this is the way it's going to be, because we don't know. It might change. You don't know. So yeah, adaptability. And gonna see what's up with the rest of the year. Maybe do some more traveling after my time with the boys, but I'm not sure. I might get a job. I'm not sure, or work online or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna stay open. I'm gonna stay open to opportunities as they present themselves, and yeah, be open to taking things, trying new things. So, with all that, I wish you a beautiful 2021, no matter where you are, who you are. Good luck, lots of love, lots of goodness, and it's been fun. Take care.